Hello, 7th grade parents. I hope you are doing well. I'm sorry that I missed you at the parent meeting about the new 7th grade class trip last night. I wanted to take a minute to share with you what we talked about at the meeting. This year, we will be taking the 7th grade class to Kentucky to visit the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum. The trip will be 3 days, 2 nights from Wednesday, April 25th through Friday, April 27th. What I'd like to cover with you in this presentation is why we are making the change to this trip, cost of the trip, where we will be staying, a rough itinerary of the trip, chaperones, map of the camp, and parent question and answers. To be able to know how we got here with the 7th grade trip, I want to share with you where we were when I first arrived at Prince 3 years ago. My first year, trip week for 7th grade consisted of a series of day trips to various places around Athens and Atlanta. My second year, I wanted to create an intentional trip that promoted class unity and team building. We went to Camp Westminster in Conyers, Georgia for a 2-day, 1-night trip where the students were able to participate in low ropes courses, high ropes courses, paintball, horseback riding, campfire, and s'mores, and a time of worship and devotion. The students had a good time and the feedback was positive. Coming into this school year, my thought was to go back to Camp Westminster with this group of 7th grade students. However, when they sent me the contract, I noticed they had raised their prices significantly. This change of price caused me to start considering other options for our students. My first thought was to see how much a commercial agency would cost for a 3-day, 2-night trip to the Ark and Creation Museum. They came back with a quote of about $600 per student. I thought that was high, so I started looking into what it would cost if we planned the trip ourselves. I found that if we did it ourselves, the price was more reasonable per student, which is important to me. The $288 per student cost is based off 100% participation from 7th grade class. We currently have 75 students in the 7th grade class, and my heart is for each student to be able to have this experience. The price will fluctuate if we do not have 100% participation. Once I have an accurate head count, I will be able to give you an exact price for the trip. What is included in the cost of this trip is transportation, 2 nights stay at Bluegrass Christian Camp, 4 meals, which include 2 breakfasts, 1 lunch, and 1 dinner, entrance into the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum, planetarium show at the Creation Museum, a Cincinnati Reds baseball game, campfire, and s'mores. Students will be responsible to bring money for 3 meals. Lunch on the way up on Wednesday, dinner at the baseball game on Wednesday night, and lunch on the way home on Friday. There will also be opportunities to shop at souvenir shops at both the Ark and Creation Museum. Bluegrass Christian Camp is located in Lexington, Kentucky and is used by churches and youth groups in the region for all sorts of camps. The rooms will be bunk house-style cabins with 15 beds in each room. The total capacity of the bunkhouses is about 150 people. Each room has 3 showers, 3 sinks, and 3 toilets. The camp is also equipped with a fire pit, basketball courts, gaga ball pit, and more. Students will be eating their meal in the dining hall. Camp staff will be preparing all meals for the students. Students will have to bring either a blanket or sleeping bag and a pillow to sleep on. Chaperones will be split up and sleeping in the cabins with the students. As we look at the itinerary for the trip, please keep in mind that this is a rough sketch and what the trip will look like. As I play with the schedule and itinerary, the itinerary may change a little between now and the time of the trip in April. On Wednesday morning, we will load up the buses and depart for Bluegrass Christian Camp. We will eat lunch on the way and arrive at the camp with enough time to unload and get settled in our bunks. We will load back up on the bus with enough time to make the drive to the Reds game that will start a little after 7 o'clock. Students will eat dinner at the ballpark. We will load back up on the buses and head back to camp about 10 p.m. Lights out will be 11:30. We will get up early on Thursday morning for showers and breakfast and load on the buses to get to the Creation Museum for its 9 a.m. opening. We will spend the next few hours touring the Creation Museum and taking in the planetarium show, which is about 30 minutes. We will eat boxed lunches that will be provided for us by the museum about 12:30, and after lunch we will load back up on the buses and head over to the Ark Encounter. We will spend the afternoon at the Ark Encounter before heading back to camp for dinner. After dinner on Thursday, we will have a time to go to the campfire and do s'mores together. Lights out on Thursday will be about 10:30. On Friday morning, we will wake up and shower before eating breakfast. After breakfast, we will clean up the cabins and load up the buses and get on the road back home. We will stop and eat lunch en route on the way home. The teacher chaperones for this trip will be Mr. Head, Mrs. Scoggins, Miss Brandon, Miss Peters, Dr. Wentworth, Coach Jones, Coach Cantrell, Mr. Davis, Mrs. Lateral, and Mrs. Gilbert. For the 7th grade trip, we will not be asking for parent chaperones. If we have all 75 students attend, the trip will have a 1 to 7.5 chaperone to student ratio. As you can see in this aerial view of the Bluegrass Christian Camp, there are 5 cabins. You can see my cursor right here circling those 5 cabins. There are 2 in each cabin. There are 2 rooms of 15 bunks. So there's split down the middle, 15 bunks over here, 15 bunks over here, 3 showers, 3 toilets, and 3 sinks in each room. So on both sides. The dining hall where the students will be eating is this big building down at the bottom of the screen. Here's the contact information for the camp if you are interested in doing your own research. Attached to this email is a parent permission slip that I need each parent that wants their 7th grader to attend this trip to fill out and return back to me by Monday, October 23rd. Every student that is going to attend this trip needs to have a parent permission slip turned in. If you are in a position to be able to scholarship a student for the cost of the trip, please contact me. I would like every 7th grade student to be able to attend the trip, and I do not want the cost of the trip to be the reason for them not to be able to go. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this PowerPoint presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions about the trip. I would be happy to talk with you about it. Have a great day.